Fichtner making his way into the studio.
And how would we know William Fichtner?
Well, he's been the star of many things, Pugs. He's in a new movie called The Amateurs with Jeff Bridges and Ted Danson. Mm-hmm. And he's on Prison Break. Here he comes.
Here he comes.
What's up, man?
Oh, my Lord. Like, that isn't the most recognizable face in Hollywood these days, huh?
Only to my mother.
Not only that, but I believe we have a very special... Oh, it's a big day for William.
Come on. Let's kick it up there. Come on.
Yeah.
Happy 32nd birthday, William.
Hey, happy birthday.
You can see we've decorated the studio for you.
Is that what?
Wow, I got a happy birth. Plus 19.
Is that what I thought? I wasn't sure. I thought maybe he'd won a primary in here.
Yes, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. How lucky are we to be hosting you on your birthday?
Come on. It's great, huh?
What do you got? You got any big plans? How do you celebrate?
I don't know what my call time is tomorrow. That's going to depend on how I celebrate.
Yeah. Now, the call time. You Prison Break, right?
Yeah.
Now, how are you guys able to are you guys still shooting? Isn't there a writer? How does that work?
Yeah, we're only shooting right now. You know, when the writers, the day that they struck, whatever was, written at that point. So they had, episodes. We were in the middle of episode 11. They had 12 and 13 written. We're allowed to finish that. So we finished that next Tuesday. And then we all take a break for a little while.
When do we lose new episodes of Prison Break? Do you know? How many more do we have?
Well, they were supposed to air 13 before, right up until Christmas. But the studios held on to, they stopped. They called it their, fall finale after episode 8.
Right.
And held on to 5 new shows. And I think that's a little bit of the studios, kind of, building,
anticipating what was going to happen?
Kind of building up their own walls by saying, basically while the strike goes on, they can say later on, hey, we got new programming, coming January and February. We got new programming. Don't worry about the strike. We're good.
Yeah.
No, we're not good.
No, I don't think. Now, the Amateurs, it's William Fichtner. He also got Jeff Bridges, Ted Danson, almost an unrecognizable Ted Danson.
Cowboy boots and naked. Come on.
Yeah.
Can you get any better than that? Jumping up and down.
And one of my favorites, Lauren Graham.
Lauren Sweet, Jeannie Triplehorn, Glenn Headley, Joey Pants.
Oh, Joe Penn. I forgot about him.
Patrick Fugit, who played, the young writer in Almost Famous.
That's right.
Tim Blake Nelson.
He's the videographer.
Wow, this is an all-star cast here for the Amateurs.
This is a labor of love for everybody.
What was the story with this movie? Because I went to the screening and the writing of it, and I always, if writing in a movie is really clever, that's probably my favorite thing about a movie I like, when I'm walking out and having enjoyed the experience. And I really enjoyed it, and then I started looking up stuff online about the movie and seeing that it had been made some time back, and it had been named other things in other countries and all that. What's been the journey for this movie?
Well, we shot the movie 3.5 years ago, and to make a very long story short, if this was anything that could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah.
As far as the journey of an independent film to be made and to be distributed. The film was bought. That didn't. There was a hope it was going to go to some festivals. It didn't. It went to other ones. It got bought. I don't know the whole inner workings of it all, but apparently the people that bought it, didn't. Couldn't put their money where their mouth was, and all of a sudden the film didn't. Have distribution and couldn't get out in this country. But then it was already committed to foreign markets. So what was very odd is that the film was released in I believe it was released in England like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, in Germany, too.
Germany or something like that. But it had never really seen the light of day of a movie theater in the States. So eventually the producer, Aaron Ryder, great guy, has been the champion behind this thing, never let it go. Found another company that was willing to get it. Now, you got to figure after 3.5 years, a company, a film like this with a cast like that, and it's a funny movie, they'll buy it for the DVD rights alone. They'll put it out. They'll make money on it. It'll sit on the shelf. Jeff Bridges, Ted Danson.
It's a great-looking box cover with all these stars in it.
People are going to go see it. But, for all of us, and especially Mike Traeger, the writer-director, we wanted to see it in a movie theater. Mm-hmm. So eventually, our producer, Aaron Ryder, got first look to buy the film, and they'll get to release it in DVD coming this spring. But they made an arrangement that it would be released in a handful of theaters. We're not talking 1,500. We're talking 4. One in Minneapolis, one in Seattle, one in LA, one in Dallas. But I guess if it does well, a per screen average is good the first weekend. Then maybe it's in 8 theaters, then maybe it's in 20 theaters. And this clearly is the little engine that could, and that's the scenario we're hoping for.
Were there special?
Let me ask you about another character you played, Sully, the Perfect Storm. Another one of my favorite movies. Was that movie as difficult to film as they made it out to seem?
There were the 2 months when we were on the sound stage, stage 16. That's the big stage at Warner Brothers, and recreating the storm on on a fake boat on a gimbal in a 100 by 100 foot, 26 foot deep tank. Everything every drop of water that's about 5 feet away from the boat. It was all CGI, but every drop of water that was hitting the guys on the boat was real. Water cannons, dump tanks.
Was it at least warm? Lukewarm water?
Yeah, by the end of the week, it was a little too warm, so you wonder what the 20 divers are doing in there.
Was the legendary George Clooney prank story I heard on Perfect Storm involving you? Is there truth to that?
There was a couple of them.
What kind of pranks did George Clooney play on?
Well,
you?
I have a really cherry 1970 Roadrunner, and while we were doing the film, I took it in to finally get a sound system put in it, and it's really awesome. Vitamin C orange, 43,000 original miles. So one day, it was a Friday, I picked up the car and I brought it to work. And, it's a huge crew. It's a big studio picture. All the guys are hanging around. And this is my moment in the sun. I pull my baby up at lunchtime and boom, 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 boom. And I said to George, listen, I'm not putting this in the parking lot, but since your trailer is, 87 feet long, I'm going to pull it right up in front of your trailer. And he says, absolutely, Bill, pull it up there. I pull it in. He's like, wow, cool. This is great. So we all go to work. We finish the afternoon. Friday, everybody's having a beer at the end of the day. I come walking out and I'm like, wow, I'm going to get in my car, rumble out and just take a ride. And as I'm walking up to my Roadrunner, everybody's just kind of looking at the car and leaning down, and I noticed underneath it there was that big puddle of transmission fluid. And I'm like, oh, my God. There goes my moment right there. And I was like, oh, this is just horrible. And there it was, just like laying all over the ground. And I thought, oh, please, you know that thing when you lock the keys in the last second, you're like, please don't let this be true.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, please don't let this be going on like this. And I happened to catch out of the corner of my eye that George was just peeking out of the end of his trailer, one of the little doors. And I thought, oh, maybe, just maybe this could be. And I walked up to him, I said, did you? And he said, yeah, I kind of did. I said, you got me. And he goes, no, believe me, just the look on your face was good enough. I mean, I'm loving this.
That's not funny to me, though. That's not a prank. That sucks. How long did it take you to get the fluids back in?
No, there was none. He went and got somebody to buy 2 quarts of transmission fluid.
Okay.
Yeah, dumped it on the ground.
All right.
Yeah, he didn't execute his own pranks.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's not funny. That's a dick move.
Was there something with breath mints being replaced?
Well, Wolfgang Peterson had us, constantly light them up, all the time with the cigarettes. And I couldn't do it after a while without having a packet of Altoids around. So I used to hide them on set in the bar in the crow's nest set. And I would sneak them in there, and then between every take, you had to light up a fresh smoke, and I would get myself an Altoid. And one time I go behind her to get them, and George is standing there, and he's got the Altoids in his hand. He's just popping away, and I'm like, hey, no offense, bro, but, I only got so many in there for the whole day. He goes, oh, yeah, here you go. He hands them over to me. I just take one of them out of there. He had one of the prop guys cut up like a piece of chalk, like perfect size and everything. I just pop one. I take 2 steps away. Everybody's waiting for it. And I'm like, nah.
You know what's so great about that level of star power is not only that you can be a prankster, but that you've got a staff at your disposal to execute your prank.
Oh, yeah, they can be elaborate. Yeah, I want to got people.
I want to play a prank. Let me call the prop department.